Hi guys, welcome to my first impressions video on the Luna software that Universal Audio released this week. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Universal Audio, they're a company that have a really rich heritage in their analog recording gear. They more recently have moved into building analog to digital sort of interfaces for computers and recording studios and project studios and stuff like that, and I've been using one of their Apollo twins for quite a long time now. Well, it's the original Apollo twin that they brought out. So just a quick disclosure, if you haven't got a Universal Audio Apollo, you won't be able to download or install this software. It needs the Apollo to integrate with the software quite heavily, and it is only available in the Thunderbolt versions at the moment. I don't know whether that's something that Universal Audio are going to address later on. They claim it's a bandwidth thing, that they need that connection to establish enough bandwidth to make it run properly for the user. Let's jump into the review, and I'll do a side-by-side sort of test with Ableton, which is a software that I've been using for quite a while now. I use that to compose a lot of my stuff. That's not sort of going anywhere, that piece of software. However, what I would quite like to see is if I can finish my composition within Ableton, export it out and then dump it into Luna and then use it for all of its analog juiciness, if that's a thing. Let's jump into the review. Okay, so this is your recording view that you've got inside Luna, and then you've also got your mix window. This is probably where I'm going to spend most of the time in this video, just to compare it with Ableton as well. So we've got Ableton running in a separate window over here. So that gives you a bit of an overview of what the loop sounds like in Luna, and then you've got Ableton here. Cool, and then you've got Luna again, just a side by side. Now for me, there's a little bit of a smoother, thicker thing going on already. So we're going to have a look at the tape emulator now. So there's two tape emulators that come with it. So you've got Oxide, which is one that comes free, and then you've got this Studio 800, which is a optional extra, which you can pay for. I'm just going to go ahead and use the Oxide one today. If you want to sort of imprint that across all of your channels, there's this really nice little tracks window up here where you can just select all of your tracks, and then just hit tape, add your tape, and then boom, it's gone straight across and added all of that for you. So that's cool. And then also, if you leave all those selected, so come out here, leave all those selected, if you take it off, it'll switch it off and on for all of your channels, which is quite nice. So that's a quick sort of easy workflow thing to do. I'm just going to keep it as close as I can as an A/B test, just to see how the tape saturation, whether it thickens things, well, adds or takes away from it, really. Okay, cool. So let's have a listen. So I think it's adding a bit of polish to the sound, isn't it? It's adding a bit of top end definition. The bottom end is warming up and sort of getting a little bit rounder and a little bit more. I think there is a bit more control there as well. Yeah, it's definitely, like, again, just thickening everything up. That's just a little overview. We can add some more saturation in there, see how it responds to it. just to go extreme with it. Let's see what it does if we just max it out. Yeah, so it just sounded like some overloaded tape. Cool. Yeah, I mean it's definitely added something to the session. And let's have a look at the Neve Summing now. So I'm just using this on a 14-day trial. Yeah, see what this does. I'm going to take the Oxide Tape off for now, just so we can hear this in isolation and see how this gets on. Yes, I mean I can definitely hear there's a bit more width. I think there's really a bit more separation between all of the parts in there, like the sort of ping pong tape delay that I've got going on. I can definitely hear a bit more width in there. Let's go again. For me, that's mainly a spatial thing within the mix that's changing there, which is essentially what the summing's going to do. It's given each component of the mix a little bit more space and a little bit more sort of time to do its thing within the mix, but it has also kept it all as one piece. Some analog summing emulations sort of go to too far one way. They either sort of mush everything together and you lose the definition, or they spread everything out and it all sounds a bit detached and a bit sort of estranged from each other. So yeah, I mean I'm liking the sound of that, definitely. Let's have a little play with this trim. Cool, so yeah, that sounds good to me. Let's add in this tape and then we'll see. I'm gonna have to adjust the trim levels on there again, see how that deals with it. Yeah, for me, with the tape saturation on there, it's sort of enhances what the Neve Summing emulation on there is doing. Yeah, I mean, it sounds a whole lot warmer and a whole lot thicker to me than it did at the start. So what we'll just do a little A/B with Ableton. Obviously, I haven't done the same things in Ableton, but the way that I'm intending to use this software is going to be do the bulk of, my session build in here, because I use push and, I build up the tracks in sort of clips and I loop it all together. So I'm going to want to build the tracks in here. But once I'm happy with the sort of the bulk core sound of the track, then I'd like to be able to jump across to Luna and then see how we get on in here, sort of in the mix phase. Obviously, I haven't done any extra mixing in here. And there would definitely be things that I want to, chop and change in here. But this is just a test of the stuff that comes with Luna and just a bit of an A/B just to see how it holds up against something that I'm comfortable and very happy using for quite a while. yeah, for me, instant punch and more. There's a load more clarity there as well in the sort of your high mids, where a lot of the content of the track is sitting frequency wise. There's a lot more sort of separation between each element, which is what you want. Okay, so I hope you guys found that useful. The purpose of that video really wasn't to sort of do a fully mixed comparison between the two. That's not really the point. It was just to see how sort of the first impressions of the analog replications that they've got in the Luna software, so the tape and the Neve Summing, just see nice and quickly how that will add or take away from the mix. I think it definitely added some analog flavour in there. Something that I'm going to definitely try and do from now on is convert my Ableton projects once they're fully written and done, get them into Luna, do my mix in Luna. Yeah, try and get some of the analog warmth out of that software. If you guys enjoy the review, hit the like button for me. I'm going to try and do some more of these as time goes on. It'll be interesting to see how the software develops. If you've got any feedback or any sort of comments, please leave them in the section below, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.